Microsoft has confirmed and announced that they were also breached. It was released that a U.S. nuclear weapons facility had been breached. And we're just barely hearing the beginning. Hello, my name is Byron Martin, CEO of Technologize, and I am here today to share some information that has really rocked the cybersecurity world. I mean, when I say rocked, I mean all hell has broken loose. It is just nuts. The implications are extremely frightening and huge, and we have barely seen the tip of the iceberg on what is going on here. So let me explain a little bit of what has transpired and how that impacts you and why you care, why you want to care, why this matters. Last week, a company called FireEye, a well-renowned cybersecurity organization, private company, announced that they had been hacked, that they had been breached. Now, this is a big deal because they're one of the foremost experts in cybersecurity, and they have the tight cybersecurity based on who they are. Part of their announcement was released that all their hacking tools had been stolen. So that was a big deal. But you know what? As I was reading it, and based on the feeling I was getting from other professionals that FireEye, they were owning it. And they readily admitted that they said, hey, everybody's going to get hacked, and it's going to happen, even the best. So they were breached. Now, what transpired soon after really ears started perking up even more, and people were like, oh my gosh, hello, there's something, what's going on? So FireEye was breached, but just barely a day or two later, it was announced that the US Treasury Department and the US Department of Commerce, National Telecommunications and Information Administration had both been breached. Oh man, that's no good. That's crazy, but we hear about government agencies getting hacked all the time. So, okay, yeah. Well, it doesn't stop there. It does not stop there. We hear that the State Department, the Department of Homeland Security, parts of the Pentagon. Okay, now this is getting real. What's going on? These guys have been breached now also. How is this happening? Why? What's going on here? Let me go through the full list now. So I've given you a few more. Now the Department of Health National Institute of Health. So the Department of Health's National Institute of Health, NIH. The Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Agency, the CISA. The Department of Homeland Security and Department of State. Those are already mentioned, but okay, so now we've got a good handful of agencies that have been breached. Well, FireEye, through their forensics and investigation on what happened to them, they figured out what happened. There's a company called SolarWinds, and you may not know about it or hear about it, but SolarWinds is the global leader in IT management, IT monitoring tools. Everybody's got it. I mean, if you're a Fortune 500 company, you've got it. If you're a large agency, government agency, state or federal, you've got SolarWinds. And their primary product called Orion. I mean, it is prolific. It's out there because it's one of the best tools, and it's how you visibly monitor your network and see what's going on. Experts are saying that maybe sometime in March 2020 or before that, somebody was saying as far back as October 2019, this hacker group, Russian-sponsored nation-state hacker group, got into SolarWinds, breached their security, and embedded malware into their software. So as they released their updates in March through June, approximately, all those updates had this malware embedded in it. So from a trusted source, from a trusted leader in the industry, is how all these organizations were breached. Now the numbers say that approximately 18,000 organizations downloaded these updates that had the malicious code in it. Wow. So right now, this week, organizations of all sizes and U.S. government agencies are just scrambling. Are they in the system? Are they in the networks? They don't know. I mean, the only reason they found out is because FireEye got hacked. And they started looking into what happened to them. How did they get hacked? All right, so here's also another little, here's something else that the NSA, the National Security Agency, the premier U.S. intelligence organization that hacks into foreign networks and defends national security agencies from attacks, apparently did not know of the breach in the network monitoring software made by SolarWinds until it was notified last week by FireEye. The NSA itself uses SolarWinds software, and nearly all of the Fortune 500 companies, including the New York Times, which is what I'm reading right now, including the New York Times, uses SolarWinds products. So does the Los Alamos National Laboratory, where nuclear weapons are designed. Okay, and Boeing contractors. So they're just saying that they also use SolarWinds, but there is no confirmation that they have been breached. But I did read earlier today reports that Microsoft has confirmed and announced that they were also breached, as well as I don't know which one, but it was released that a U.S. nuclear weapons facility had been breached. And we're just barely hearing the beginning. I mean, this is a big deal. It's a big hype, a lot of news. How does this impact the small business, the community? On the surface, it may not seem like it does. It's one of those things, chalk it up to 2020 and the chaos and disruption. But this stuff trickles down. It does not just stop there, because now it shows how vulnerable, even more vulnerable we are. And does that mean we just say, well, if those guys and have all their stuff in place and they're the experts and they get hacked, what hope do I have? Well, that's a good point. And the experts say that you need to plan on being hacked. How does this relate to you? How does it relate to me? We need to make sure not only we're doing the best we can to mitigate any attacks or breaches, but more importantly, we got to see why, cover our behinds. Do we have plans in place when something happens? Do we have PR plans in place? How do we communicate with clients and or customers or vendors? How do we protect our business? How do we protect the liability of our business or an interruption of operations? This is front of mind for me, obviously, because I'm dealing with a lot of the residual effects and also, really focused on making sure that our clients are protected, or at least we're advising them the best we can on that. Stay tuned. There will be more information as we find out more, we'll share more information. Don't hesitate to reach out to me. I can be contacted via email or Facebook, LinkedIn, all of the above, and happy to answer any questions or chat or anything like that. Again, my name is Byron Martin, CEO of Technologize, technologize.com. Thank you again, and we'll talk to you again soon.